Hello, I'm recording this on August 29th, 2024, and that means two things. Any claim introduced without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. It's also time for the Darkness News Update, brought to you by Evluma and the Build Your Own Acorn. And I mean you build it. I mean you choose the height, you choose the finish, you choose whether you want a globe, whether you want an acorn, whether the globe or the acorn has, a glaze on it or pebbling. You also get to choose options for mounting decorative items. And part of that is also an OmniMax lamp that is already diffuse. It's already ready for Bluetooth controls. It's already set for color temperature selection. It's just a great thing for your decorative post needs, and it's at evluma.com. Visit the link in the description, if you please. We are just gonna get into the news because the Center for the Protection of the Dark and Quiet Sky has secured a grant from the United States government for satellite mitigations. This is a new program that'll help ground-based observatories track and avoid low-orbit satellite clusters that are already in existence and help manage new satellite clusters going up right now and in the near future. The University of Alabama at Birmingham has formed a new light pollution lab. The first goal of that lab is to cut artificial light at night at anthropogenic light at night on campus. They will be managing the lights within the facility to improve things for student life, and they'll expand from there. Oregon State U has begun a new student project to track bird strikes on campus, and that could turn into data that improves other campuses and other office spaces that in terms of bird safety. We have a new survey linking interest in astronomy with actually being able to see the astronomy. That's to say that regions with low light pollution levels, low Bortle scale ratings, are more likely to have respondents be interested in learning more about the stars they can already see. We have a study showing that purple light, violet, technically, 392 nanometer light does introduce circadian entrainment in mice, but it also alters their visual function, and that's interesting. We have a new study showing that substance abuse is bad for your circadian rhythms, and that circadian disruption is bad for your substance abuse habit. This is a bidirectional negative feedback loop, kind of called a bit of a doom spiral, but it does suggest that chronotherapy as a component of addiction recovery could be a good idea. We have a couple of experts suggesting that the new social media trend, it is probably not a trend, it's probably just a prank, called Rawdogging. Again, I want to say that Rawdogging, probably not a word you want to look up too closely on on your computer, but there is a social media prank trend thing where you are encouraged to sit looking straight ahead for an entire flight. No food, no water, no entertainment, no naps, just living in the moment of the seat in front of you. It's probably bad for you, especially on a long flight. This is related to your circadian rhythms. You should have water when you can, and maybe try to take a nap. Again, this is probably just the internet trying to make fun of you. Yana Yakushina has published a new classification guide for light pollution regs and has listed where you can find each type, and that's pretty cool. In Turkey, Bursa is their first dark sky park. It's in the western part of the country near the Sea of Marmara, and it's the first recognized by DSI. The Isle of Room in Scotland has been recognized by DSI at a sanctuary level. This is a small island south of Skye. It's home to 40 residents year-round. They will be building a small, streaming-capable observatory and hosting astronomy events for visiting people as they go forward. Bruneau Dunes State Park in Idaho, this is in southern Idaho, has been recognized as a dark sky park by Dark Sky International. The work on that started 9 years ago. Canberra, Australia has cut their light pollution levels by 30%. This is through the use of controls and shields that came into effect a few years ago. Lighting regulations in the UK are helping glowworms. The parks of Norfolk have been limiting lighting and seeing results. Dark Sky, Wisconsin is the latest Dark Sky chapter. In Pierce County, you can now find Dark Sky advocates specifically for Wisconsin. Hinsdale, Illinois has begun debating lighting bylaws with the Planning Commission to consider not only exterior lighting as a light trespass issue, but interior lighting as a light trespass issue. Ann Arbor, Michigan has picked out 58-watt lights. This is after a series of debates with experts and advocates suggesting that actually 29-watt lamps with backlight shields would be better. But the Planning Commission ended up deciding that pedestrians might maybe be safer under brighter lights. There we go. In Nags Head, North Carolina, Jeanette's Pier has switched to wildlife-friendly lighting. The North Carolina aquariums have helped the city pick out some really great amber lighting. It looks good. If you're watching the video version, it's already up there, but I swear, it looks good. It looks nice, and it's really encouraging to see that go forward. In Utah, the town of Moab has begun auditing their public lighting for retrofits. This is part of a very big infrastructure project, but it does include checking bug ratings and light and brightness levels on all city-managed fixtures in hopes of being more compliant with principles related to responsible outdoor light at night. In Oak Bay, BC, their new street lighting might not be in line with nearby park requirements. Oak Bay's nearest park is actually recognized by the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. The new lighting may be jeopardizing that status. I should also note that Oak Bay, BC is maybe the NIMBYist place in Canada, which is saying something. We have a new advocacy organization in Vienna, Virginia. This is Dark Sky Friends, headed up by Eileen Craigie, pushing for new ordinances on lighting in the Northern Virginia area. Doylestown, Pennsylvania is planning a Lights Out advocacy campaign for fall migration. This is new to Doylestown. They are on one of the major Atlantic flyways, but it's part of a broader trend, which I will start to explain now, because we're seeing a Lights Out campaign in Louisville and in Summit County, Colorado, and Bangalore, India, if you can believe it. More to come as more comes. In Georgia, St. Simon's Island is home to a number of sea turtle nests, and they have begun to be distracted and experience stranding due to local lighting, which means that conservationists are calling for better lighting policies to avert those strandings. A company called Nova, they run data centers, have opted for better exterior lighting for their newest facility in Mesa, Arizona. That's right, they are going to be opting in for dark sky friendly lighting ahead of any other rules. They're doing this voluntarily right now. On New Zealand, the Ministry of the Environment has begun a very broad effort to incorporate Indigenous knowledge and expertise in their conservation efforts, which includes incorporating actual academic astronomers of Maori background into their night conservation projects. And lastly, in Cass County, Robert Parrish, an amateur astronomer, a dark sky advocate who secured DSI recognition for a nearby park, has been honored by the local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution for their conservation medal. And we're going to close it off there. I want to thank you for your time, for your attention, for leaving a rating, for leaving a review. I want to thank TED Magazine. I want to thank the Lighting and Darkness Foundation. I want to thank Nailed. And I want to thank Evluma one last time for their support. Check out the Build Your Own Acorn. It is the best in decorative pathway lighting. Until next time, I've been Scott Wachter. Take care of yourself.